Chairman and board members, I have gone ahead and started the meeting so you can all log in to the CFD meeting.
As soon as it'll let me.
Okay.
It doesn't say join.
Rick said
It
not to
doesn't-
be pushy.
It says not. It doesn't tell us to join. So
Sorry. Hit the refresh.
Refresh.
it doesn't say join. Or is that everything ready to go?
Here, I got it. Where did you out and do your circle? You got in there too early. We have to do our circle. No, you're gonna have to go to the table now. I'm there.
What do I do?
We're in.
We're in.
Yeah, we're in. Okay, Bill. Thanks. That was great. See you later. Yep, all done. Yes.
Thanks
Yes,
for
yes,
getting,
yes.
thanks for getting the public comments onto the.
Do you want it to go bam, like the word bam bam? Like, like, and then we can actually have it with the little spikes on the bam. Really?
We're ready to go.
Yes, we're ready. Up.
We're calling a meeting to order. First item is roll call. Diane.
Board members now.
Come on.
Ready to go.
Ready to roll. Okay. Chairman Skoog
Present.
and Vice Chairman Anderson
I'm here.
and board members Grossman,
I'm here.
Mallory,
Here.
Nye, Whiting, and Rooney.
Here.
Here.
We have a quorum there.
We have a quorum. Bill. We're ready to go to. Wait a minute. Consent agenda. We've got one. That's item to be considered routine by the district board. Anyone care to pull an item, or do you want to approve it as a whole?
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as a whole.
I have a motion and a second. Will you set that vote, Diane?
Uh-oh.
Got you.
That's unanimous, Mayor.
Good, thank you, Diane. Okay, next item is a new business for review, comment, and/or action. Consideration of authorizing the chairman to sign resolution number 37, adopting the entire or tentative budget for Eastridge CFT fiscal year 2017-18. Bill, you're up.
Thank you, Chairman, Vice Chairman, board members. I know you've had a long evening, so I'll try to make this really quick. And if Ivan wasn't here, we'd be able to approve all of these under one motion.
Yeah.
But because he's here, we have to go through each of these one by one. I have to go through the process of talking about each one.
You know, we could be through these if you weren't complaining so much.
Well, I was bringing up a point.
Oh, okay.
At the point. That's all
Could you
I was
do your
making.
best John Machida imitation?
We'll help keep him pure.
All right, so I'll start moving now. All right, I just want to make, before I start talking about Eastridge, I just want to make a couple comments that apply to all of the budgets. So that way I don't have to keep going over all of the same thing for all of the different budgets. Tonight you will be approving the tentative budgets for each of the CFDs. You'll also be setting a public hearing date of July 13th next month to finalize the budgets. Part of that process also then, like we talked a couple weeks ago at with the town budget, you're adopting a tentative budget tonight. 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and July 13th we'll come back before you. You'll finalize the budget for next fiscal year. If there's any changes that need to be made during that time period, it has to be reduced. We have to lower the budget after tonight. We cannot increase the budget at this point. Also, I want to let you know that most of the budgets, most of the items tonight before your consideration were discussed at the May 5th budget work study. with the exception of the entertainment center CFD, which will be a new, and that's in your council packet or board packet. There's also copies of the budgets available on our town website and also up in Larry's office. If they're not there now, they'll be there tomorrow. So, and the last thing I do want to point out, if you have the opportunity to read the resolutions on all of these, it gives you an excellent history. And I got to commend Ivan for the detailed work. That really is, it really gives a good history of each of the CFDs. And my only other point is if you skip over the whereases, it'll be a lot quicker to read. So, you know, it cuts it almost in half, but not quite.
I think everybody should read the parcel descriptions too.
Yeah. So with that, East Ridge CFD total tentative budget for fiscal year 17-18 is $154,207. From my perspective, I wish all of the CFDs were like this one because it's been, you know, from accounting and budgeting and bond it's been a very good CFD. Our last payment actually is July, I think 1st, 2018. So this will be probably the last budget that we actually will do for the East Ridge CFD. So it's been no problems from our end. So with that, I'll try to answer any questions that the board might have.
How about a motion?
I think we're ready. Bill gave a good explanation.
Motion to authorize the chairman or his absence the vice chairman to sign resolution number 37, adopting the tentative budget for East Ridge Community Facilities District for fiscal year 2017-18 and providing notice of a public hearing on July 13, 2017 by electronic vote.
And I'll second that, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Diane?
That's unanimous, Mayor.
Good, thank you. Okay, we move on to number B, consideration of authorizing chairman to sign resolution number 17, adopting the tentative budget for entertainment center CFD fiscal year 2017-18. Bill, anything special there?
Yes, I have a few comments. First of all, this is actually our first official entertainment center CFD budget that really covers the operational cost and revenues associated with running the facility. Since it is the first, we're using, I mean, we've got information from a couple different documents, but it is our best guess at this time. We really won't know where we're going to be until we start getting a year or two history of what the true operational costs are going to be. So going forward, I do want to point out that the information here is based off a document that Spectra, the current or the company that potential management or future management company for the event center or entertainment center. And then also one of the reports that Ivan talked about last week is that analysis report. So between those two reports, I tried to assemble a budget. This is my first draft at the budget, I guess you could say. So I'll just hit some of the highlights of the budget. The first thing I do have to note is in the process of going through and creating, I made some modifications after the RFCA or RFBA was completed. So the total amount of the budget actually that's on the RFBA is incorrect because it states it's $3,987,000. But what you see in Exhibit B, the $3,881,000, that is the exact, that is the amount that the RFBA should state. Well, with that going forward, I'm going to go to Exhibit B. I'm going to talk about the revenues, the facility revenues, the first four lines on Exhibit B. Those revenues were actually obtained from Spectra's pro forma report. And a pro forma is kind of a forecasting of what they think or how much revenues they think they're going to take in, what their expenditures are going to be. So it's kind of like a forecast and of how we plan to do for next fiscal year or how they plan to do for next fiscal year. So I am utilizing their numbers to prepare my budget. The big one, I guess, is the questions or comments would be contributions. Since this is the first budget, there is no carry forward cash balances, no carry forward fund balances. So basically, this contribution is the amount that the town will be contributing to the event center to have a balanced budget. Again, if the total expenditures are less, then the contribution will also be less. So this is the amount that will balance the budget basically. So that's why you see the number at $2.9 million, $3 million almost. That is to balance the budget. Going on the expenditure sides, the salary and benefits, general operations, that's really from Spectra. This salary and benefits does not include any staff time, any town staff time. So this is strictly staff that Spectra will be hiring to help operate the facility. General operation, again, that's like the electricity, any type of maintenance agreements. It's all going to be under Spectra's, for the most part, Spectra's control over how the facility is operated. Management incentive, right now, I don't think the final management agreement has been approved, or if it is, I'm not aware of it, and so Ivan is indicating that it's not. But this is an estimate of what they typically will charge facility or other facilities throughout the country. So we're looking at paying them approximately $120,000 in management fees annually for every year that they run, and that there is an inflation clause built into this.
How many dollars is that per fence?
Pardon me? No. Parking lot rental and repairs. Again, this is an estimate. This is from the analysis that Ivan discussed last week. It's going to be a minimum. Right now in the agreement, it's a minimum of $70,000. It could grow depending on number of events, number of tickets that are sold, various things that occur. So at this point, I'm budgeting $100,000. Again, this number could go up, could go down. I'm just not sure. $70,000 is the minimum amount. Insurance, this was a plug. I had no idea what the insurance for a event center or entertainment center would be, plus parking lot. So I put $100,000. Diane has indicated that that's way, way, way too much. So once I modify the budget, I'll get new information. I'll talk to Larry. If we either will adjust the budget, and then coming back to at the public hearing, we can lower the budget, we'll lower the budget. Otherwise, we'll just set it up in a contingency fund to be used at some other point if necessary. The license, that's a one-time payment for the liquor license for the event center. $75,000 that we'll pay. That's only for this fiscal year only. Payment to bankruptcy plan, I think Ivan kind of addressed that last week. It's $150,000 a year for 20 years, total of $3 million. So every year you'll see this line item in this budget. Debt service, these are estimates. At this point, we really don't have a final number as to what it's going to cost to basically exchange the current debt with the new tax-exempt debt. So we don't have a final number yet. I'm not quite sure when we're going to have a final number, but at this point, these are all estimates. They should be a little bit on the high side, or at least I'm hoping they're on the high side. So I think we'll have adequate funds budgeted for the debt service. So these are, I believe, maximum amounts that we're going to pay. We hope it's going to be less than this, but this would be the max. And then the last one is capital improvements. We're just going to budget money. We don't know how much money or how much in capital improvement needs that need to be done the first year. So we're just going to budget some money, and we'll probably do this for every couple of years for the next, until all the improvements need to be done are done. So with that, it's been very brief. I know $3-4 million budget. So, but if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions.
No, I don't have any questions. Should I make a motion?
Motion, yes, we're ready. Motion to authorize the chairman to sign resolution number 17, adopting the tentative budget for the Entertainment Center CFD fiscal year 2017 through 2018.
I'll second that, Mayor.
We have the motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Diane?
Mayor,
Yeah,
did you wish to vote?
You did.
I pressed a button for
Okay,
some
you did
stupid
now.
reason.
Yes, thank you. It's
My machine
unanimous.
says Mary Mallory, but it's
Unanimous.
unanimous.
You're
Bill,
going to be in a lot
go
of
for it.
trouble.
Mary's
Got my name.
voting twice.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
we go on then to the C. Consideration of authorizing chairman to sign resolution number 25, adopting the tentative budget for Parkway CFD fiscal year 2017-18. And that's the Phoenix Phonetic. Bill, you are up.
Thank you, Chairman. Tentative budget for fiscal year 17-18 is $287,408. As I mentioned back at the work study, the assessed value within the district did go down again, approximately a little over almost 1.5%. That was primarily due to the one tax-exempt parcel. Now, one year they were partially tax-exempt, now they became fully tax-exempt. So at this point, about 30.5% of the parcels within Parkway are now tax-exempt. Hopefully that will stop, and this will be the end of it, but who knows. But the other parcels, the taxable parcels within the district, actually all those values went up 5%. So, but you can see this value within this district, or this one parcel, was a fairly large property. The value was pretty large in this property. So that's why you still see this slight decrease. One of the other points I do want to make out is that part of the motion is that you will be setting the tax rate for next fiscal year. The tax rate for Parkway, what we are proposing is a tax rate of $13.94. Last year it was $15.04. The primary reason that it went down, even though the assessed values went down, the reason it went down was the contributions we are budgeting. We're budgeting a $50,000 transfer or contribution from the town, like we did the current fiscal year, and then the $18,000 from the church. With those two that is brought, that will bring the tax rate down to $13.04, or $13.94. I'm sorry. With that, I'll try to answer any questions or comments that the board
Questions
might
or
have.
comments, anyone? Emotions?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion
Okay,
to authorize the chairman to sign resolution number 25, adopting the tentative budget for Parkway CFD fiscal year 2017-2018.
And I'll second that.
Okay, with a motion and a second, will you set the vote?
Someone else seconded it, I think.
That's unanimous, Mayor.
Passes. We move on then to D. Consideration of authorizing the mayor to sign resolution number 39, adopting a tentative budget for Pronghorn Ranch CFD fiscal year 17-18. Bill, you are up.
Thank you, Chairman. The tentative budget for Pronghorn Ranch CFD for fiscal year 17-18 is $570,369. The assessed values within the next our next three residential districts actually have increased. Pronghorn actually went up by 10%. A lot of that is due to additional new homes, newly constructed homes that are coming on the tax roll. So that had a lot to do with the increase. Now the existing or the current homes, they also have seen an increase of 5%. We are proposing that the tax rate stay the same at $2.81. Now, for the homeowners that have basically been on a tax roll for more than a year or 2 years, they will see an increase in their taxes. Their assessed value goes up, the tax rate stays the same, so their taxes will go up. It varies depending on the assessed value of your home. I've seen some as low as approximately $18, and I've seen some in the upper $30 is what I've seen for the most part. So it's not substantial, but I do want to make sure the board members are aware of the fact that the tax rate will be going, their tax bill will be going up even though their tax rate stays the same. With that, I'll answer any questions that the board might have.
Questions, Laura?
I'll make a motion if there aren't any questions.
Think we're ready? No questions? Yeah, we're ready.
Motion to authorize the chairman or his absence, the vice chairman, to sign resolution number 39, adopting the tentative budget for Pronghorn Branch Community Facilities District for fiscal year 2017 and 18, and giving notice of a public hearing of July 13th, 2017 by electronic vote.
I'll second that, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Diane?
That's unanimous, Mayor.
Thank you. Bill, go for it. We'll move on to number E, consideration of authorizing the chairman to sign resolution number 30, adopting a tentative budget for Wellwood Meadows CFD fiscal year 2017 and 18.
Thank you, Chairman. Tentative budget for Quellwood Meadows CFD for fiscal year 17-18 is $469,154. Again, in this district, just like the Pronghorn, and you'll see in Stone Ridge, the assessed value increased over the previous year by almost 15%. Again, the largest component of that would be new homes. All of the residential homes that I was able to find that have been there for more than a year, their values went up 5%. So just like Pronghorn, we are proposing that the tax rate stay the same, and that's $3.13. But again, just like Pronghorn, their tax bill will go up. It's comparable to the same rate. So it's hard to tell exactly depending on your value of your home, but they're going to see a slight increase in their tax bill as it's related to paying for the CFDs. So with that, we still have a few more years. We have a developer that's making a contribution to us every year. It's based on how many homes they still have in their possession, or $1 million contribution. Right now, they're approaching $760,000. So we have, unless they sell their inventory out, we have a few more years before they'll be maxed out on their contribution. And then after that, the developer will be out of it. So whatever the base assessed value of the district at that time will be the tax rate pretty much set from that point on. So with that, I'll answer any questions that the...
Questions, anyone?
One question.
Yeah.
You mentioned that maybe a year or two he'll be, sold out. Or is that going to max out that subdivision? You're probably not the one to ask, but I was just kind of curious.
No, but to my knowledge, it is. I mean, I know Larry might have a comment, but I believe that they purchased all of the existing lots that were available within that.
Okay.
Now, there might be, I don't know about residential or commercial in the front, but for the most part, the residential would be all done. With that, I'll answer any other questions.
I'll make a motion.
Questions, comments, Marty?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Motion to authorize the chair to sign resolution number 30, adopting the tentative budget for Quellwood Meadows CFD fiscal year 2017-2018.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Diane?
It's unanimous, Mayor.
Unanimous. Bill, move on. We'll go on to F, consideration of authorizing the chairman to sign resolution number 36, adopting the tentative budget for Raven Ridge CFD fiscal year 17 and 18. Motion, questions?
All right. I'm okay if you...
You missed your point to speak, sorry.
Yeah.
You're supposed to speak on that, Bill.
I'm sorry. I was focusing on something else, I guess.
You weren't with us, Bill, but go ahead.
all I want to tell you on this one is we have a $7,249 budget, but this is the last payment is in 2024. 24. And we have like 14 property owners within that district, but they could be around for a while.
Wonderful.
But it's a very, very small sewer district, so with that, I'll answer any questions.
Questions, anyone?
Chairman, I'll make a motion.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Motion to authorize the chairman to sign resolution number 36 adopting the tentative budget for Raven Ridge CFD fiscal year 2017 to 2018.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Will you set the vote?
It's unanimous, Mayor.
Thank you. We'll move on, Bill. To G, consideration of authorizing a chairman to sign resolution number 30. Is that what it says?
Yes.
Adopting the tentative budget for Southside CFD fiscal year 2017 and 18. I thought we had another. How come we got two number 30s, Bill?
Well, each CFD would have its own numbering system.
Oh, okay.
I'm speaking for Diane's behalf.
Thank you,
but-
Bill.
You're welcome. And Ivan's behalf.
Ivan, too.
I'm not trying to step into their area, but
And didn't you think Bill did a great job? Let's have Bill maybe come into the department. We can get a little of his money. I just a thought.
Let's wait till tomorrow.
it's getting late, so we want to kind
I
of
think we're all
move
delirious.
on.
It's way past our bedtime.
Just a couple comments. Chairman. It's a tentative budget for Southside CFD for 17-18 is $200,217. I don't think we really have to get into too many details about Southside. We still have one property owner who is basically defaulted on their assessment. What you see here is basically the full assessed value as if everyone would pay. But if anyone does not pay, then basically the town will kick in and make that contribution just to make sure the debt service gets paid. If that property is ever sold, then we hope to get our funding back at that time. But so with that, I'll answer any questions that the council might
Questions,
the board might have.
anyone?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Motion to authorize the chairman or his absence the vice chairman to sign resolution number 30 adopting the tentative budget for Southside Community Facilities District Number 1 for fiscal year 27-18 and providing notice of a public hearing on July 13 by electronic vote.
And I'll second, Mayor.
Okay, the motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Dan?
Not Mayor.
It's unanimous, Mayor.
Thank you, Bill.
Stonebridge.
We'll move on to H, consideration of authorizing the chairman to sign resolution number 40, adopting a tentative budget for Stone Ridge CFD fiscal year 17 and 18.
The hell?
Thank you, Chairman. Tentative budget for Stone Ridge CFD for fiscal year 17-18, $765,990. Again, like all of the other two residential CFDs, the assessed value up in Stone Ridge increased by 8%. This is another example that we are proposing that the tax rate stay the same at $2.59. Just like the previous two, their tax bill actually will be going up a little bit more due to the value of the homes up in Stone Ridge. So I've seen anywhere from $40 some dollars, upper 30s to in the $50, $60 range that their property tax bill will be going up for the Stone Ridge CFD. So with that one, I will answer any questions the board might have.
Any questions for Bill? Motions, whatever? Mike?
Mr. Mayor, I'd be happy to make a motion to authorize chairman to sign resolution number 40, adopting the tentative budget for Stone Ridge CFD fiscal year 2017-2018.
Second, anyone?
Chairman, I'll second that.
Okay, with a motion and a second, would you set the vote?
It's unanimous, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, we have comments from the public. We'll move on to number 5. Anyone from the public? Well, it doesn't look like there's any public. No comments there. We'll move on to number 6. I know everybody hates this, have that happen. Motion to adjourn, anyone?
Mr. Bray, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
That's
Second.
okay. We have a motion and a second. Will you set the vote, Dan?
Who was the second, please? I don't have it electronically.
Mary?
Mary.
That's unanimous, Mayor.
And that passes. Motion, meeting is adjourned. Bill, thank you. You've done a great job.